Hey guys, Brooke Whipple here. Welcome to my channel. Today, it's Pizza Friday in my house. And Pizza Friday means I make homemade sourdough pizza. And today I want to show you how to do it. I want to show you how to make a pizza that looks like this. Look at the crust. This is a beautiful crust. And this looks like a pizzeria style pizza. And it's not just any pizza, it's sourdough pizza. Pizzeria style pizza right in your home oven. Stay tuned. We're going to use sourdough starter to make the crust. Now, I'm not going to go into the process in this video of how to start your own sourdough starter. I'm just going to go ahead and get started with mine. I fed it last night. It's ready to go, so I want to show you what that looks like. All right, you can see here it is nice and bubbly. This is a well-fed sourdough, and it is happy and ready to work for me. I'm gonna need 1.5 cups of this sourdough to make 2 16-inch pizzas. This is what your sourdough should look like. Ooh, it's good and gooey and bubbly. Look at that. There's 1 cup. Now, 1.5 cups of water. And I use lukewarm water for this because we're gonna want it to rise up nicely. Now I need some bread flour. You hear all those birds? I gotta show you outside my kitchen window. Got my bird feeders right here so I can watch them all day long. I'm always in the kitchen. Alright, I got my bread flour right here. And you're probably not gonna like what I have to say here, but I don't really measure my flour. I've been trying to perfect this recipe for probably 12 years, and I've got it down pat now, but I've never really measured anything out. It always goes by a feel. So with this volume I have here, which is 1.5 cups of sourdough and 1.5 cups of water, it's very liquidy. This is gonna make me 2 really nice size 16-inch pizzas. And now I'm just gonna add some bread flour. So what I do is I just start putting in flour till it starts to feel and look right to me. So we're just gonna kind of measure as we go. This is gonna be a loose recipe. You're gonna have to go by the feel when you do it yourself, but this is how I do it. You always gotta use bread flour. Bread flour has more gluten. It's gonna have more chew in that crust, that classic pizza chew. That's what you want. So you gotta use bread flour. All right, here goes in 1 cup and 2 cups. Just gonna start with that, mix it in. I'm gonna show you what it looks like. And you can see 2 cups of flour here. Really hasn't done much. But look how bubbly it is. That sourdough is really happy to get something else to feed on right now. That's a good, healthy sourdough. And it smells good already. All right, now I'm gonna add a little yeast. And I'm sure you're thinking, why are we adding yeast if it's sourdough? Well, I want it to rise fairly quickly. This is a quick sourdough crust. A little yeast is gonna speed things up. So we've already added 2 cups of flour. I'm gonna add another cup. Then I'm going to add 2¼ teaspoons of yeast. Next thing is salt. I'm gonna add about 2 teaspoons of salt right now too. Now it's still a pretty wet dough at this point. Just want to get it all mixed in. We're going to keep adding flour. Very wet. Another cup of flour. That's our 4th cup so far. Like I said, I don't usually measure it out. I just start pouring it in. And as I'm mixing, I can tell if I need to add more or less, and that's what you should do too. Want to get this dough to a point where I can start to show you what to look for and when to take it out, because we're going to need to knead it on the counter. So still pretty wet. Going to add another 1/2 cup. A little at a time right now. You don't want to overload the dough so it's stiff. We want it to be nice and workable. Just really looking for it to start really kind of pulling away from the side of the bowl where it won't stick, but yet still nice and moist. So still too sticky to handle. I'm going to add in the rest of that 1/2 cup. So we're at 4.5 cups of flour at this point. See what I'm doing here is just trying to get it to ball up so it's not too sticky anymore. And we still need more flour. Another half a cup. I'm going to divide up about a quarter cup there. Now see there, it's starting to kind of want to look like maybe I can start to handle it. A little more flour. Still sticky on the bottom a little. I do want it to be sticky, but I want to be able to handle it. So there's kind of a fine line. You can see here, if I really were to get into it, it would start sticking my hands. And that's really about what I'm looking for there. That's nice and pliable. It's not stiff at all. I can move it around in the bowl just with the flour. That is ready to be kneaded. Perfect. All right, we're ready to knead. Don't be scared of kneading. It is super easy. Just want to throw some flour on your counter. We're going to dump out our dough. Comes right out. Looks like that. I'm going to take a little olive oil. Just put a little splash in there because as soon as I'm done with my dough, it's going back in the bowl. Now kneading is just a simple process of folding and pushing. Folding and pushing. We're going to do that until this dough feels like a baby's bottom. And we're going to add a little flour as we go. I think we're just a little over 5 cups of flour total right now. And yeah, it's just a feel thing. So let's get kneading. All right, make sure your rings are off and your hands are clean. Now you can see this is still a nice sticky dough yet. So I'm just kind of coating it with a little flour. I want to keep my work surface nice and floury and just watch as I fold and push. That's all kneading is folding and pushing. I'm going to do it real slow so you can see for a minute. It's folding and pushing, and then I'm going to keep gently adding some flour to the mix. I don't want to make this dough stiff. This is a very mushy, very soft dough right now. It is very, very soft. I don't want it to be, see, it's already sticking to my hands if I play with it too much. I don't want it to be a stiff dough. I want it to be nice and pliable. So I'm just going to knead this for 5 minutes or so till it becomes nice and smooth. Allows that gluten to stretch and relax. And this is going to give us an amazing sourdough crust. And it really is easy. It's not hard at all. So you're just moving your dough across the counter, flipping, pushing, folding, pushing, folding, pushing. Just sprinkle lightly as you go, just to keep it from sticking to your hands. It's really actually enjoyable to knead dough. Of course, if you have a stand mixer, you can always throw this in your stand mixer and let it do it for you, but there's something very satisfying about kneading your own dough and getting the feel for what a good worked dough feels like. So it's just going to only help you be a better baker. It's just enjoyable. Kind of connects you with lots of generations ago when everybody baked. It's kind of a lost art anymore, so it's fun to learn and get into it. So I'm going to keep kneading this for a couple more minutes and show you what it looks like when it's done. Slow that down so you can see. What are you doing? Maisie! Maisie! You've got your baby? Oh, yes! That's your baby! No, I don't have a treat. That's a good girl. Get it. Get your baby. Maisie's having fun. All right. Oh, this looks looks really good. This is just really smooth now. It's got a really good texture. It's still quite moist, and hey, watch my camera. You see this got a really great smooth texture. This is good. This is good enough. This is about 5 minutes of kneading. Feels great. It's just a little sticky. Look at that. That's what you're after. All right, now it's going back in the bowl. It's got a little bit of oil in there. I'm just gonna, very little oil. I don't want it oily, but now I'm just gonna let that rise in a warm place. All right, now that we've got the dough done, we need to make our sauce. This is important. You gotta make your own sauce. All right, here's how to make the sauce. This is what you need. San Marzano tomatoes. Don't skimp. Don't get a cheap brand. You need San Marzano tomatoes. It's really important to a really good sauce. Now I get these at Gordon Food Service. I have found them at Sam's Club. You might find them in a better grocery store. They're gonna cost you some money, but at Gordon's, I can get this whole giant can for like $5.50, $6. Totally worth it. I make a giant batch and then I freeze it. They come in a really nice, rich tomato sauce in here. They're whole, so I'm gonna need to cut them up. Gonna need to drain them in a colander so they're not too runny and watery. I'll show you how to do it. All right, all I'm gonna do right now is fish out these tomatoes. They're whole, they're beautiful. They got a nice, rich sauce with them. So I don't wanna just get rid of the sauce. I'm gonna pull out these tomatoes and then I'm gonna cut them up over a colander so they can drain. They're really, really wet and juicy inside. Too wet for a pizza. So I'm just gonna put them in here and then I'm gonna cut them up. See, as I'm cutting them up, how watery these are. And that's definitely, I don't want all that water on my pizza. So I'm just opening them up here in the colander, cutting them up, and then they're gonna drain and be so much better for the pizza. That's way too liquidy for the pizza. So I'm gonna do this to the whole can. Then we're gonna add it back to that nice rich sauce that's in the can. I am letting this drain now. I got it all cut up. I'm gonna pour the rest of my sauce from the can into my bowl and add some basil. Put quite a bit of basil in there. I'm gonna add my drained tomatoes back into the sauce. Now I'm just gonna stir it up. And I just eyeball the basil. You can either put more or less in, kind of depends on your taste. I like to taste the basil. It's way better if you have fresh, but if not, fresh dried will work good. That's what I have here. Sometimes in the winter I grow a basil plant, so I can have fresh basil all year round, but I don't have any right now, so gotta use my own fresh dried basil. You can see the consistency is nice and thick. It's not watery, and that's why it's really important to drain your tomatoes, because you don't want it watery. You just want it nice and tomatoey thick. Now you can see a lot of basil in there, and that is looking like a sauce to me. And now it's time to check the dough. And we have a winner! All right, look at this dough. Oh, it is nice. See how it is pretty wet. Look at how porous that is. It's full of bubbles. It's really wet at this point. It's going to take some flour to deal with it. Smells amazing. This is ready to make pizza. All right, guys, now's the time. You're going to want to warm up your pizza stone. Pizza stone is really important in this process. You got to have a pizza stone. I want you to get it in your oven. I want you to crank up your oven as high as it'll go. Mine goes to 550. And I'm gonna turn it on and get my stone heated up, because we want that stone nice and hot. Probably about 45 minutes before you start to make a pizza, get that pizza stone warming up. Pretty gooey, that's perfect. There's just a few pieces of equipment you're gonna need to pull off this awesome homemade pizza. Besides the secret San Marzano tomato sauce, you're gonna need a couple sheets of parchment. You're gonna need a pizza pan and a pizza screen. These are standard, probably 18 inches across or something. You can get these at like Gordon Food Service, Costco, Sam's Club, I don't know, even probably online. These are a couple things you gotta have. All right, we're gonna build the za on top of this. Really important. All right, got this beautiful dough. Gonna need to definitely sprinkle some stuff on there because it's very sticky. Gonna put some flour all over your parchment. Just like that. Now watch how I kind of grab this out of here. Just kind of pulling it back from the edge. Gonna need more of that. It's really beautifully gooey and soft. And I just want to pinch off, I don't know, I feel that's a lot of dough. It's too much actually. So I'm just gonna, need more flour. I'm gonna punch off a bit of this. Still too sticky. There we go. Just kind of working it into a little ball. And that's our pizza dough. Gonna plop it down and start making it into the pizza shape. Now, I'd love to throw it up over my head, but I don't know how to do that. I've tried a couple times, but basically, just want to work this down, spread it out to the size of your pizza pan. Make sure it's not sticking. But basically, you just want to pull it out, and you can handle it from the middle. You put your fists underneath of it. You just want to grab it by the edge, and you're just gently pulling it out, stretching it to the size you need. It's really not hard, and if you poke a hole through it, you can always fix it later. You just kind of pinch it together. You can see how quickly I'm getting this to spread out. It's really not that hard. And I just kind of make it the size of the pizza pan, and you're good to go. Just pull it out by the edge where it's thickest and make it a little thinner, and that's how you just keep stretching it out. There you go. It's pretty quick. Now for the sauce. We don't want to have this sauce sitting on our pizza for very long to make that dough wet. So just want to take your sauce, and you want to be generous. Spread it out all over the pizza. You want to go right to the edge. That looks good. Now you do the toppings. Now next thing you want to do is add your cheese. Cheese goes on top of the sauce. Now that might sound weird, that's definitely what you want to do. Cheese goes next. A lot of people think the cheese should go on last, but really it's way better to go on right now, right on top of the sauce. Alright, we've got a good base of cheese here. Now I do pepperoni. It's my personal choice. I buy pepperoni in bulk and then I freeze it. We go through so much pepperoni because I do pizza every Friday. I make 2 16-inch pizzas. This is where you get to have fun and get creative. You put whatever you want on a pizza. This is some of the normal stuff we put on. We got pepperoni. Now I'm going to do olives and ham, and of course top it with mushrooms. What do you want? You want some ham? Want a piece of ham? There you go. What a baker. Roy knows when pizza night's here. Alright. Now I'm done with the ham. Be quiet. Get out of here. There we go. Looks good. Looking like a pizzeria pizza. I like lots of mushrooms. I love, love, love me some mushrooms. Okay, we're ready to throw this in the oven. What we're gonna do is take it over to the oven, slide it in on the stone. It's really easy. Go. All right, now this is gonna cook really fast, 7-8 minutes. So don't leave, and you're always just gonna be opening the door. Little peeky peek. It won't take long, so don't go anywhere. All right, the light in my oven is burned out. So let's take a look. It's been about 6 minutes. I'm going in. Oh yeah, she's looking good. Oh, look at that. See that there's a good color there? It's looking good. Gonna give it just another minute or two. Okay, she's ready. Let's take her out. This is how you do it. You just pull it out by the parchment onto your screen. Not very good. Just like that. And there it is. Look at that. That is a very, very nice looking homemade pizza. Crust is beautiful. Look at that. We want to let it cool for about 5 minutes before we cut it. Okay guys, look at this pizza. Got it off the screen, put it on the pizza pan. Look at the crust. This is a beautiful crust. And this looks like a pizzeria style pizza. Doesn't it? I mean, and it's good. That is one good looking pizza. Yummy. All right, let's cut this bad boy. All right, let's not wait any longer. That is so good. You really can't get any better than that for homemade. It's amazing. This is an amazing piece of za. So guys, thanks for joining me. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. Love to hear your comments below. And as always, if this is your first time here, I'd love to have you subscribe. Hit that button. Hit it, hit it, hit it. All right, this is Girl in the Woods. Until next time, she gone. Oh, don't forget to get outside and get happy. Good stuff right there.